Hi, I'm Melanie Posey, Research Director for Cloud and Managed Services at S&P Global 451 Research. Today, I'm joined by Simon Seagrave, Director of Product Marketing for Red Hat OpenShift Virtualization. Welcome, Simon.
Hi, Melanie. Great to be here.
Great to have you here today for our discussion about virtualization, modernization, and what comes next. So let's jump right into our discussion. Of late, we've seen a lot of disruption in the virtualization market with lots of licensing changes, pricing and bundling changes. And the report we worked on called Migration Catalyst found that over 60% of private cloud users are looking at transitioning away from VMware. However, we see an opportunity here for not just virtualization migration, but for folks to make smarter decisions, longer term decisions, looking at their strategic infrastructure going forward. So, Simon, I'm just curious, how are you guys at Red Hat seeing this shift and this disruption?
Yeah, all really good points there, Melanie. I see it in my regular conversations that we have here at Red Hat. Customers, as you mentioned, have been impacted with increasing cost, less flexibility in how they consume their products, but also there's an element of fear and uncertainty around their existing products, virtualization product they have there at the moment. What we're finding with customers is as time's progressed, and definitely within the last 18 months, they've transitioned from short-term migration planning more to longer-term modernization strategy as they've gone here. So this is obviously a place where OpenShift and OpenShift Virtualization, which is the capability of the OpenShift platform, can definitely help them not only meet their requirements as of today, i.e. the migration of their virtual machines from their existing traditional platform, but it helps them move on to a modern platform that helps them land on a platform that not only meets these immediate requirements, but takes them for what comes next and allows them to respond rapidly to ever-changing business requirements.
So let's talk a little bit about what comes next here. And we're noticing in the market, as you mentioned, that swapping one hypervisor for another doesn't necessarily get the ball down the field as far as how do you modernize your overall IT estate. And it doesn't really help with managing what are increasingly heterogeneous IT estates. So we at 451 Research have been looking at this whole idea of getting control of your IT, managing IT complexity by having everything monitored and orchestrated under a unified control plane. So how does the virtualization shift feed into modernization and unified control planes?
Yeah, again, great question, Melanie. Many of the customers that we speak to are seeing this as an opportunity. Now, some of those have already taken the first steps in modernizing their traditional applications and leveraging things like containerized and microservice-based workloads. But traditionally within a lot of these organizations, they have siloed teams. So these are two or more teams that are responsible for the different workload types. So for example, they may have one for virtual machines, they may have one for containers, for example. But quite often, those siloed teams have their own set of processes, because this is more than just the technology, it's people and processes as well, but they'd have their own set of tooling, their processes that they follow. Now, by consolidating workloads and seeing this migration as an opportunity to break down those silos within their organization, to consolidate them onto a single unified modern hybrid platform, this is a fantastic opportunity for them to bring these teams together, to standardize on a set of tools, a set of processes. And again, this is where OpenShift can help these teams consolidate down onto that single platform.
And Simon, I think in your response just now, you said the magic word of modern IT, which is hybrid. That's what we're seeing in our research, and that's obviously what Red Hat's customers are doing too. So to wrap up our discussion, I wanted to bring in the whole issue of hybrid in the context of looking forward and modernizing your IT. And you can't go 5 minutes without hearing somebody talk about generative AI, AI/ML, APIs, LLMs, that we're moving out of the cloud era into the AI era. And with AI comes automation, obviously. So I'm just curious to get your view of how does this modernization shift, this move to more cloud native ways of managing your infrastructure and unified control planes, how does it play into the whole AI readiness notion? And what are you seeing Red Hat customers doing as a result of getting themselves ready for AI and agentic IT?
Yes, I mean, two of the massive pressures that IT organizations within businesses are under at the moment um, primarily fall into two camps. The first being virtualization. Again, the challenges you mentioned at the beginning here, Melanie, around cost, inability to consume only the products they need, and also, fear and uncertainty with their current provider. That's just one of the challenges they're up against. As you mentioned, the other is AI. AI is moving at a massive pace, as we all know, at the moment. So those two things can converge. Now, many businesses that we speak to, what we recommend and what they realize that this isn't necessarily a binary decision. It's not an either or. For example, you have a separate platform for your traditional and modern traditional workloads, and having a separate platform for your AI and modern-based workloads. Again, it's about that consolidating down onto that single unified hybrid platform, driving operational efficiency and cost efficiency at the same time. Breaking down the silos, converging everything onto that single platform as you go forward as well. And again, that's the beauty of a modern platform such as OpenShift. It provides them with the tools, the capabilities to consolidate, pull through the AI capabilities into their applications, but run it on that single platform alongside their traditional applications. Because let's face it, a lot of these applications, they're not going away anytime soon, or nor is virtualization. So that's going to be there for the longest time, but at the same time, they're being expected to respond to business and market and customer requirements. And obviously, AI is very central to a lot of that. So having that single platform that's hybrid, can run on premises, out in the public cloud, but also out at the edge again, providing that consistent set of tooling and processes for organizations helps drive that operational, but also cost efficiency as well.
Simon, I think that's a great way to bring this whole discussion together, that unless you have the luck to be able to start on a clean sheet of paper, lots of different types of applications, lots of different types of application packaging are going to have to coexist. We live in a hybrid world, we live in a heterogeneous world, and we live in a world where organizations need to get ready for AI. Thank you so much for your time today, Simon. This was a great discussion. And would you like to close us out?
Yeah, thanks, Melanie. Yeah, so as I mentioned, this is more than just a short-term migration play here. This is a long-term modernization strategy for many organizations out there. So AI is really the evolution of the platform. It's not a separate infrastructure play as such. But I really appreciate your time today. And for those of you wanting to find out more information, please go to red.ht/migration report. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Simon, and thank all of you for joining us today.